Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, let's welcome Lillian to the stage.
Alright, so I named my essay Looking Through Windows, Learning Compassion. I named it this because I've always thought of art pieces being like a window, probably because they usually have square frames. And you can see through them to some other world. Alright, the person who wrote the article that I read was David Werner. He's a German art dealer, and this is the article he wrote. It's called Art is How We Justify Our Existence. This is actually a quote from his mother, and during this article he develops the thesis that art appeals to our intellectual curiosity, and because of that it lets us understand the experiences of the artist who may be different from us. Okay, and my artist that I think really supports his thesis is Art LillianH. She's French, French impressionist, so if I'm mispronouncing her French things, that's why. Some of the common themes of her paintings were women, everyday life. Some of the mediums of her paintings were oil, but she also worked in watercolors, and she liked to use unconventional canvases. Some of her paintings are on very small canvases, or they were painted on like pieces of paper that she just found lying around. She was part of the Impressionist movement, which was a movement in France where artists were very focused on capturing the moment and the spontaneity and the movement of the natural environment around them. And some Impressionists you might know are probably Claude Monet, who paints water lilies and that bridge you might have seen, and Edgar Degas, who paints lots of ballerinas. I just want to say, Van Gogh is not an Impressionist, because I thought that before, and I know lots of people like that, but he didn't. Okay, this is the first painting by Art LillianH. It's Julie Manet and her dog, Lart. The title is in French, but that's the English translation. In this painting, you can see that she's using the element of contrast to draw focus to this girl in her dark blue dress, contrasting with a light background. Additionally, this painting is very much like warm orange colors, which sort of give it sort of a homey, domestic feel. Also, your attention in this painting is drawn to the girl, and specifically her face, and you can see that her face is looking directly at you. She looks into your eyes. We know that she was probably looking at Berthe because she was the one painting her, but now we almost feel as if she's looking at us. And the look she's giving is kind of friendly, a little bit tired, and so this kind of just makes us feel connection with her through this eye contact, and it makes us care about her a little bit more, because we feel as if we're friends with this girl, and we want to know more about her life. Alright, my second painting is Woman at Her Toilet. In the historical context, toilet means like cleaning and preparing yourself, not just like going to the bathroom. And in this painting, it's a very different mood from the last painting because the colors are very gray and low contrast, and also the strokes in the background specifically are very choppy, kind of tumultuous, and they give us sort of like an uncomfortable feeling, which is strange since we're seeing a girl dressed up in her pretty dress, like getting ready for some social event. And we're like, why is this making us feel so uncomfortable? And the reason is because of the lines and the choppy strokes are just like giving us this uncomfortable feeling that Berthe wanted us to feel. And possibly she's trying to make a statement about the standards of beauty during the time and how they were expecting women to conform to these standards even though maybe that's not what they wanted to do and not what was comfortable for them. And so I think that someone looking at this painting could maybe think more about the standards of beauty in a way that they hadn't before. And this would kind of encourage them to be more critical and be more empathetic towards women, and who are a different group from themselves, possibly. Yeah. Alright, and the third painting I have is the cradle. And this is just a very lovely painting. It gives like very warm, very peaceful vibes. And I think the reason for that is because of the lines and the composition. It's just very stable and nice and flowy. This sort of like a half moon shape here that's created by the white cradle. And the interesting thing is actually that the moon represents maternity in a lot of cultures, and that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a mother looking at her baby in a cradle. And because we're just seeing the mother, and she's not exactly smiling, but she's just sort of sitting there looking a little bit tired, it makes us think more about the roles of mothers in our society and how much work they do and how at peace they can feel once their child is finally asleep. And I think someone looking at this painting might become more compassionate towards their mother or the mothers in their life, because they're seeing this painting and being reminded of what a stable, good influence their mother has had on their life. Yeah, so the overall themes of Marcel's work is they have all her paintings feature women, and they're women in like normal environments. They're just living their everyday lives, and you get to see into their lives and feel a little bit more compassionate towards them and think of them more as humans, just like you, because that's what they are. And overall, her paintings have very strong colors and like interesting strokes and line work, and those are conveying a lot of emotion. So you're seeing like a person with emotions, and you have emotions too, and you just feel that connection, and that's increasing your curiosity about the women's lives. Yeah, so I thought it was really cool that there's this saying that the eyes are the windows into your soul. I feel like paintings are kind of the opposite of that. When you look into a painting, it's like you're looking through a window, like through someone else's eyes. And that is how art teaches us compassion, by letting us see directly into other people's lives and teaching us empathy for them. And
thanks, Lillian. You gave us a lot to think about, that presentation. And audience.
So about her personal life, did you know she was ever like an outright advocate for women's rights? Or
no, I don't think she was an outright advocate, but she was a very strong person in the Impressionist community, and I think she was definitely advocating for herself and anyone who basically told her, oh, you're a woman, you can't be doing this. She was telling them, no, I can be doing this, and I deserve recognition for it.
I think it's really interesting, like how you chose this topic to be like art is like the window, because like connects with like my experience. I would say like art is more like a mirror for myself, because like she is basically depicting others' lives, or like some artists they are more like focused on themselves, like maybe you mentioned, yeah. I think it's really interesting how it's like you show another like diverse side of art.
Yeah. Very true.
I appreciated how you gave us context before like each slide, and like on her the person and the author's thesis. I think that really helps like everyone understand your presentation even better.
For the third painting, I was wondering why you called it warm. And there's a lot of black in there.
Yeah, I feel like the colors aren't warm, but if you're imagining yourself almost as like the baby, you'd be feeling very warm, because it's like warm emotionally instead of warm colors. Yeah. Yes.
About that painting, it does have like some warm colors, like there is pink and there, like the white has some more creamy yellow tone to it, and has skin, so that does give it like a sexy emotion.
There's a subtle touch of warmth.
Yes.
Yeah. Which perhaps reflects the delicate nature of this, situation, the mother-child relationship, and the child being in a vulnerable position, being cared for by the mother, the tenderness between them. Well, thanks so much, Lillian. That was a very helpful outfit.